Yo, Reali-T, your boy from Hackney, aka Black Guy in Your Neighbourhood, aka my mother's favourite rapper, and this is the In Your Neighbourhood podcast, baby. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have returned. The In Your Neighbourhood podcast, your boy Reali-T, Black Guy in Your Neighbourhood, your boy from Hackney, mother's favorite rapper allegedly. So last week we were working behind the scenes. I was doing a bit of stuff, you know what I mean? However,
Sounds
we're back
dodgy,
now.
Mate. Sounds dodgy, being very ominous there.
Listen, all will be revealed. However, I was just saying to myself, I said, self, why are you so selfish? Because every time we start this podcast, I introduce myself, I introduce my guests, but I never ask my guests how they're feeling. Do you know what I mean?
No, mate, you just don't care, do you?
No, I don't give a fuck. However, as you can see, if you're watching this, Beezy's turned into a Caucasian. The neighborhood has definitely been gentrified. No, I'm joking. Yes, we've got a new guest in the building with us. Would you like to introduce yourself, Johno?
Yeah, I'm Johno Ramsay and write about rap and stuff. I think that's be all and end all of it, isn't it?
I like the description. I write about rap and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. I sometimes film YouTube videos about rap and stuff, and occasionally people watch them, and other times people don't. And
Nah. You need to give yourself more credit than that. I'm not having that. Yesterday, Johno was telling me that he there's a video about Denzel Curry on his YouTube website that has how many views?
it was 14K yesterday, and it's 22 now. So it's like the Americans overnight are kind of pushing it, which is good. But it'd been up for 2 months and had like 1.9. So I don't understand YouTube really. It just sometimes things just pick up.
Fall into the algorithm, don't there? And then
Yeah.
away it goes.
How much has the Slow Tie one got though?
It's 130.
Look at that humble brag. Look at this humble brag.
No, that one was wild. I didn't expect that.
Nice,
Crazy.
mate.
I filmed it on my phone as well, so it shows it's nothing to do with like gear or money or like investing in it. You just film yourself chatting shit.
You weren't paying for views?
I wasn't paying for views. No.
Oh, okay. We believe you. I'm joking. Anyway, so just a quick. Oh yeah, 40. I didn't even ask you how you're feeling. How you feeling?
Used to it by now.
I didn't even introduce anyone. Okay, Black Guy in Your Neighbourhood. We got 40, and now we got Johno on in place of Beezy. We're just gonna be subbing them in, subbing them out. We're gonna be doing Callum Hudson Adoys maybe every week. You never know. Maybe during this podcast we'll just sub someone off. Maybe mid-pod, like if you're not performing well, even me, I have to assess my performance, you know what I mean?
I'm a bit rusty, on the podcast game.
Oh yeah, that's a good segue. Me and Johno were part of a short-lived, moderately successful, I would say, controversial, definitely controversial, podcast called Hip Hop Hangover Podcast. Yeah. And that was more based on Northeast music. And that was the biggest mistake.
Yeah, we tried to do a little something, and I think we were a bit naive going into it really, and just I loved it, but at the same time it was a disaster.
Yeah. I mean
I thought it was interesting, me.
Some of it was
to it, but I think it's just a small audience base, isn't it? Just people who like Northeast hip hop.
Yeah.
I think you had to cut down the content of it between kind of the Jerry Springer stuff and the actual interesting, discussion.
Yes.
There's a bit of both.
I mean, 40 was on the first episode.
He was. That's what's interesting. So it's kind of like full circle.
I mean, yeah, it's it's like this brings a tear to my eye that we've reunited this way, fresh, looking better, living life better. I mean, that podcast, just to briefly, for anyone who didn't listen to it, or even if people did listen to it, started off not that quite smooth. We peed a lot of people off from the first episode. And then it just went from there.
Yeah. I think it was kind of my fault, as I knew the things that we were talking about were gonna, ruffle feathers. But I guess that was the point.
That was the point. You got to start a debate, but not to that extent. Not to the extent of
It like I say, it got a bit Jerry Springer to a degree. It became like a Jeremy Kyle platform when people would come in, air the grievances. Then the next person that had been talked about would want to come on next to then chat shit about that person. So it would have just went on.
It just
forever.
would have gone on, and then we would have been like, we would have had our own talk show.
Maybe
we had sponsors. Sponsors, quotation.
Yeah, they didn't
marks.
give us any money. They just
no money, but
we mentioned them and they sometimes shared our stuff. I think that was as far as it went, really.
2-for-1 Wednesdays. We used to mention that on our pod, something along those lines.
2-for-1 Wednesdays. What was that? Was that the dude that sold nuts or something?
Let's go on to our first topic of the day. Johno, you might not be familiar, but on this podcast, we don't just talk. We break down topics.
That's a better
we delve into topics. Mm. And today, on our top 3, that's one of our topics, top 3. We're talking about hip-hop producer duos. So I'll give you a second to delve into your mind. Second up.
Producer duos like the Neptunes, or producer and MC?
Producer and MC, sorry. Yeah. Producer and MC duos. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
Hip-hop producer and MC duos. So I'll give you another second, seeing as I got the name wrong. That's it. Your time's up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna begin. Eminem and Dre.
Yeah.
Forgot about Dre. Guilty Conscience. Real Slim Shady. What else have we got? My Name Is. I think they're moderately successful, I would say. Eminem and Dre. I don't want to downplay them, but Eminem and Dre, that's my number 1.
Is Em and Dre the best combination with Dre, though?
I think Beezy's listening to this shouting Snoop Dogg and Dre, which you could have an argument for.
It's debatable.
Debatable.
Unless Snoop and Dre's in your top 3 anyway.
Nah.
Were you going to say number 2, Snoop and Dre?
Nah. Sorry about that, Snoop.
And then number 3, Eazy-E and Dre, and it just turns out you're a Dr. Dre super fan.
And then just honorable mention NWA and Dre.
Yeah. Tupac and Dre.
Tupac and Dre. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another one actually. However, all of those aren't in my top 3. I'm sorry, guys. We have one that's dear to my heart. We have Cassidy and Swiss Beats. And that's another debatable one. I can see by 40's face. There was DMX and Swiss Beats, wasn't there?
There was.
And that one.
I think I'd choose DMX for a MC producer duo over Cassidy.
I mean,
I know you like your wordplay in it, T.
Yeah. Cassidy's the one that taught me a bit of, or inspired me to write a bit of wordplay, even as corny as they were. When you look back on it, like a lot of people weren't doing wordplay back then, like him anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
what
I guess
what kind of corny bars was he coming with? Have you got any for us?
Oh,
I got a hotel.
I got a double bed, once to sleep on, the other one's to get my freak on.
That's good. Yeah.
That's actually good, when I think about it. But that was the collab with He Who Must Not Be Named.
Voldemort.
The boogeyman. But he is actually a boogeyman. Anyway, let's move on quickly from that. Let's just move on quickly from that. What was my number 3? Oh, I should have done my research properly. So I had M. Dre, Cassidy, Swiss Beats, And yes, Jay-Z and Kanye West. The Black Album.
I'm just trying to create some conversation in this pod right now, but for me, I can't argue with Kanye and Jay-Z.
Kanye and Jay-Z is like, it's a lethal
clear,
combination.
Classic combination. But
every track.
Personally, I liked Cameron and Kanye. I know they didn't make as much music together, but Cameron and Kanye, like Purple Haze, the album, was my favorite album for about 4 years. And some of the tracks on there smashed it. I can't argue with Jay-Z and Kanye.
This is where me and 40 like clash, because I can't stand an album of Cameron rapping. I don't know. He's like, it's funny, but
it's funny.
I don't know, man. I can't stand an album of him rapping. And Cameron, if you're listening to this, I respect what you've done for hip hop and everything. Don't shoot. but yes, Jay-Z and Kanye West. H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy. We got Lucifer. I'm a Christian though. We got Diamonds of Sierra Leone, the remix. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. Oh God. Oh, that's one of the most creative lyrics. It's like, you know, in the Bible where you have Jesus wept.
Yeah.
That's a verse like Jesus wept. So clear, so concise. It's the emotions in it. He's not a businessman. He's a business man. Anyway, I'll stop.
Yeah, okay.
I love it.
T's definitely standing over here.
You know, I'll be honest. I think I discussed it on Hip Hop Hangover podcast and on this podcast. Jay-Z for me is a debatable, one of the best rappers. Debatable.
What, like you think he's overrated or you think he's underrated or?
This is gonna ruffle feathers, but it's now Johno's here. I've got my confidence back. Like Jay-Z, when people were saying, "Oh, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT," I was like, "Is he though?" However, you can argue because of his longevity that he probably is, but I wouldn't just say he is the GOAT.
I think this is a whole different topic, and it might be. It could get deep, but yeah, I think for what he's done, people consider him the GOAT. But if you're just looking at him as a rapper, for me, he's probably not even top 5.
You see, so like that's like at least 40 is in the same boat with me, so 40 might catch this smoke too. If we've got some Jay-Z fans listening.
Nah, I think I basically agree. I mean, I don't find myself listening to a lot of Jay-Z kind of.
Yeah. Maybe it's
ever.
Maybe it's past our time. Like if we'd watched Jay-Z like closely from the 90s and seen him grow to what he is now, then you could actually understand why people consider him like the greatest of all time. From like Biggie's sidekick to like the guru of hip hop, like a billionaire, billionaire, arguably, businessman.
But
businessman.
His success has been bred by his success.
Yeah,
because it is the business moves, isn't it? And it's the way he's gone about things. And he's just been able to keep himself relevant in that way. But like I said, I think that's another topic.
That's another topic, but we'll just be going down this loophole. Okay, who wants to go next? Top 3 MC
Johno,
producer duos.
I can go next. I kind of thought you lot would go more old school. I wanted to kind of bring it more modern. Even
great.
Go into some UK stuff. So
same mode.
In no particular order. I mean, I don't know if have you heard of M1 on the beat? He's
drill
produces a lot of drill. Him with anyone in the UK drill scene. I mean, he must have done beats for, you know, everyone. And I think he's just kind of really dominated that sound, and like he needs a lot of credit for making UK drill as popular as it is today, because his beats are just insanely cold. Like, and I watched a video, like a breakdown of how he makes them, and he was just sat in this bare bedroom with like a little laptop, not even a keyboard or anything, just kind of, it looks such nothing set up, like, versus the songs he's actually made. I just think he's incredible, and in terms of the UK right now, deserves a lot of credit for pioneering the sound, or at least popularizing the sound.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, Johno, I'm gonna let you off because it's your first time on the pod today. But we like specifics here in your Neighbourhood podcast.
I'll go M1 on the beat and Morrison then, because they don't miss, like, at all.
Okay.
But when you put those two together, Morrison and M1 on the beat.
Okay.
As a sort of current, top three, not of all time particularly, but like right now.
I like to be transparent as well. I'm not gonna lie, I never heard of Morrison, but
Morrison,
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
I'm not sure if he's a nice guy particularly.
Oh, okay. Trying to save my life.
Look him up after this. Yeah. He's from London, white dude with a little perm. Doesn't look like he should be doing drill, but does very well.
Okay. So it's one of those.
Yeah, like a kind of, I don't know.
Oh, he shouldn't be there. I can spit. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
I think he's quite well known for extracurricular activity.
Yeah.
Claims, like table tennis and
yeah.
He
claims he made a mill doing what you're doing in the pharmacy game. Before rapping.
Those Ventolins are quite, they're quite dear. Anyway, what's your second one, John?
Oh, like I say, like you've mentioned it, I can't get away from Dre and Eminem as well, because that was just, what I was kind of initially brought in on. I can't get over it, and I can't, let it slide. So it's got to be Dre and Eminem for my like real all-time number one.
Yeah,
like undisputed, just for me, and the impact they had on me. It's got to be.
Yeah, and just a disclaimer, guys. This is, don't do drugs. Obviously, no. I'm a pharmacist. I've seen the effects sometimes. However, Eminem, pre-2001, when he was, very much into the drug game, was one of the best rappers alive, arguably. After he got off the drugs and got sober, personally, I feel he went on a decline. Not in his life, obviously, but as a rapper. So, but yeah, don't do drugs.
It might just have been the way his career was going anyway. Like it's hard to tell whether it was the drugs or just like the natural kind of life cycle of things. I hate seeing the way people go on about Eminem online now, because he was cool for more than a decade, and suddenly now he's become the punchline of the joke. Clown. Yeah. He's what people just take the piss out of for no reason. And these same people would have grown up listening to him, but because he's not cool now, it's cool to take the piss out of Eminem. And
I think at the end of the day, people online are just followers, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I mean, you are literally following others, so we're all just sheep. So anything that's gonna make you part of a gang, per se, you're just gonna jump on it. So it's now like the trend.
Yeah, to not like Eminem.
Not like Eminem. And people don't want to feel left out. Oh, let's diss him too. When lyrically, if you look back, even now, I mean, I was discussing this with 40 on that. He brought out deluxe version of that 50-track album that he brought. I didn't have the heart to listen
to be murdered by.
Yeah. Like it literally almost killed me because it was so long. No, but 40 said this track. Listen, I was like, he's still good. He's not the Eminem that I know, but he might be actually better lyrically than he was. He's not saying as much shock value stuff.
Yeah,
but he might be as better lyrically than he was.
Is more technically he's better technically, right? But
Yeah, I know what. Yeah,
doesn't
that's
always
what I
make
mean.
better music, does it?
That's the issue. I think he's hung up and still trying to prove a point that he doesn't need to prove anymore. You know,
I know.
It's like, I can go faster. I can go one step further beyond. It's like, we already know you're good, and I think that kind of takes over his head.
Yeah,
in terms of making the music, it's all about still proving how technically proficient he is, and it kind of the songs then go to the wayside because he's too busy thinking about the actual core rap element of it. He's like a rapper now, I suppose.
Exactly. And it's a far cry from the I just don't give a F Eminem. Like, he literally didn't give an F, and he was more interesting. Now he's just trying to people please, but we can't get into Marshall's head. Anyway, number three, Johno, what you got?
Oh well, this one was obvious. It's Reali-T and 40.
Oh my gosh. Don't blow us up. Don't gas us up like this. This wasn't planned, guys. This wasn't planned.
If I'm doing this and I'm linking it to kind of parts of my life and what got me into certain music and whatever else, I couldn't say that you two didn't help, get me into Northeast hip hop, so to speak, and that whole scene. And like you were playing some tunes yesterday, and it just took me right back to kind of 4 years ago, and then hearing the project with you two together as well. And yeah, I mean, you definitely did play a massive part in getting me in and getting me listening to what was happening in the region. 100%.
Oh, thanks, man. That means a lot, actually. I was gonna shed a tear, but I'm a man.
Yeah,
I'm joking. Men can cry too. Don't take that too literally. But yeah, thanks a lot, man. I don't know what more to say about that. 40, you got anything?
No, but it's good to know that there's people out there that actually enjoy the music.
Yeah, that actually, I do have something to say as per usual. With that, even if it's one or two people, I don't think people understand how much it means to an MC and a producer, or them individually, when you even have one person like always liking your stuff on Instagram or commenting on your stuff or saying, oh, this influenced me, for example, or this helped me at a certain time. Because when you're just writing it, you're just thinking about, oh, we need to get this beat right. I need to make sure I'm rapping in time. I need to make sure the metaphors are good, at least, to satisfy yourself. But when it's helping people outwards, then it means a whole lot more. However, don't rappers or producers who are listening to this, don't get stuck on trying to people please, because people will come to you. Yeah. Anyway, enough of that serious stuff. 40, what you got? Who's your top?
Right. Do you know what I did? I stick with kind of just the hip hop side of things, because I was trying to think, and for just the top three, I was looking at the UK side, some of the grime stuff, some of the drill stuff, and I thought, I'm just going to keep this hip hop, and as much as I listen to a bit of UK hip hop, I've just got US hip hop in mind.
Okay.
So, we can talk about grime producers and things like that another day, maybe. Yeah. Because I've got plenty of thoughts on that. But for me, so number 3 would be Redman and Eric Sermon.
Mm-hmm.
So from Muddy Waters to Doc's Name, Malpractice, there's always a ton of Eric Sermon production. Redman, he smashes any beat, but I just think Eric Sermon's production works well with him. I think it can kind of have serious lines in there or whatever, but it sounds fun, and there's always a bit of funk in it as well. Number 2.
40 is Redman and Eric Sermon, because I remember my secondary school days. Were they the ones that made a React? With the Asian sample. I remember MTV Bass back then. Do you remember MTV Bass, John?
Yeah, every morning I had it on before school. I mentioned it in the Tiny Temper video, actually, because that's, every morning.
Those were good times, man. I just remember Hot in Here by Nelly being one of the staples of that, and then I used to watch it in secret.
Anyway. I remember Justin Bieber one time. You see, that was my era.
On MTV Bass?
On MTV Bass, when he was first coming through, 100%.
Oh, we watched different MTV bases.
Yeah, it was. I got a bit of that and a bit of Tiny Temper and a bit of N-Dubs. That was what my mornings, you know what I mean?
Yeah, N-Dubs, yeah.
That was the 2009, 2010, 2008 kind of MTV base.
Oh, yeah, that's when it was
pop rap.
It was on the decline.
Yeah.
40, what's your number 2?
Number 2. Talking about MTV Base, when I was watching MTV Base, there was a lot of Missy Elliott. So it's got to be Missy Elliott and Timbaland.
Yeah.
You know, I think probably 2001, 2, 3. Missy Elliott was running it.
She was.
And all
people
Timbaland
don't give her enough
stuff.
credit. They don't give Missy Elliott enough credit.
I mean, it might not be the most kind of lyrical or you know, traditional hip hop, but you know, I don't think things could stick as boom bap forever. And Timbaland definitely was switching it up with the beats, and Missy Elliott was just in her own lane. So yeah, that's my number 2.
Yeah,
and then
the videos for Missy Elliott. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
The videos were different.
Yeah,
they were different, man. What's your number 3?
Spending money on videos, wasn't it?
Exactly.
My number 1 or number 3, whichever way we're doing it. Got to be Mad Villain.
Okay. Rest in peace.
As always, when someone passes away, more people get to hear about them, which is great. So there's loads of people onto it now. And it's just good that more people can hear how great that duo was as an album. It's just it did something different. You know, there's other kind of real hip hop duos obviously been out there for years and doing kind of similar formulas and I mean, to each other, everyone was doing very similar formulas. But in terms of what that did, it just created something different. It had a different feel, the whole kind of comic side of it. It was completely unique for me. And I just think that the mix of Madlib's beats, Doom's lyrics, wordplay, flow, it's got to be my number 1.
Yeah, I think you showed me some, because I won't lie, I wasn't really a big into MF Doom. Then you showed me his this was actually, what's ironic, it was the night before he passed away. Like, we found out he passed away, the public, because he passed away like a few months before the public found out. And you showed me you said 40 said to me, MF Doom like might be one of the best in terms of multi-syllabic rhyming. And then he showed me something, he sent it to me, and it was like, nearly every word was rhyming. I was looking at it, it's like, this is crazy, I can't do this. Like, I'm not gonna even attempt it. Then the next day we found out he passed away, which was scary.
Yeah,
because he never came to my mind like that. I know MF Doom, like, they love him underground, they love him. But I never got into him. Yeah, I have to be honest. I know this is like, I never got into him, but I will now, which is a shame, but I will now. So rest
and I think
peace.
the thing with the Mad Villainy album, it is one of them that if you're someone who enjoys an album and you listen front to back, that it's great for that.
Yeah.
So that's definitely my number 1.
Our next topic, we're calling it What on Earth? Or shall I say, what on earth? That's how I'm going to introduce it. And here we talk about what's viral, what's going on in the world, what maybe the Twitter sphere is talking about. We delve into these topics. We break them down. We dissect them. First topic we're talking about on this What on Earth segment is the woman with chest hair.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know what this is.
I
know what it is when you say it, but I don't know what the story is.
Okay,
viral.
Let me quickly.
That Johno's not even seen it. To be fair, I hadn't until you mentioned it. I know we spoke before the pod about it, and you sent me the article.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get my raw reaction here, like unfiltered. So
let me quickly read this excerpt. It says, a young woman has shared her joy after finally learning to accept her very hairy, this is in quotation marks, self. Esther Calixte Bia, forgive me if the pronunciation was wrong, from Montreal, Canada, you know, Drake and them man there, has decided to ditch her razor and embrace the hair all over her body. You know, she's enjoying herself, which has previously left her feeling depressed and at times even suicidal. She's 24. She leaves all the hair on her chest and on her armpits. You know, she just wants to be free. And she says she's embraced her sexuality. How do you feel, guys? Let's go straight to the point. And this one is going to be a controversial one. Would you date a girl with a hairy chest?
Maybe not, but that's on me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all for her doing whatever she likes and whatever makes her feel better. And, you know, her mental health is a priority. And if I don't like that, then, you know, fuck me, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, like...
But what if you're with a girl, yeah, and then at night, yeah, she's like, oh, here, Johno, lay on my bosom.
Yeah.
And then your head's there and you're like, wait a minute, I thought I was laying on my bosom. This feels kind of cushiony, like kind of prickly. Then you realize, wait a minute, this woman's chest is hairy. What do you do then? What do you do in that situation?
What do I do in that situation? I hope I might have noticed previously, like prior to getting to that stage, but I don't know, maybe I'd just bring it up. Maybe I'd just ask about it, just attack it head on and not skirt
head
around
on,
it and
literally.
just say, yeah, and just say, you know, what's the crack? And we just go from there. I'm trying to be open-minded and you know, an open person, but personally, if I knew beforehand, it's not something I'd be into.
Yeah.
But then again, that's on me. That's not on her.
Johno.
It's not on her to change.
Johno's the bad person here.
I'm ignorant.
40. Dating a girl with hairy chest.
Yeah, I think you're setting us up here, bro. You're saying one thing, and then you're kind of like, would you date someone with a hairy chest? That's not the point. You know, if anyone's seen the picture of this woman, she's got quite a hairy chest. You know, I know guys with less hair on the chest.
Mate, I've got no hair on my chest.
I mean, choice. Or...
You know.
Yeah, I can't grow it.
Okay.
But
I haven't reached puberty yet.
It's not in my preferences.
Okay.
To be with a woman with you know, like that hairy of a chest. But there's people out there for everyone. And, you know, there's guys out there who are into it. I mean, if there's people out there like, you know, I don't know, being shat on and stuff, then what's a bit of hair? You know, people do have their own preferences. And, you know, I don't want to be here saying what people should or shouldn't do. And women grow hair.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
The issue is, you know, we live in this society where at the minute, the desirable consensus is that women should be completely smooth.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, and I guess it's a bit strange. I mean, there's hygiene reasons potentially for people shaving. I don't know about the chest or the legs. You know, maybe other areas might make things a little bit more hygienic to shave, for example. But you know, we've normalized women having to adhere to a certain standard. It's probably quite a lot of effort for them.
That's
you know,
true.
I would imagine there's times where women are just like, fuck me, we've got to spend all this time shaving all this off. So I get where the girl's coming from and just being like, no, I want to be me. I mean, us men don't have to do it, do we?
Exactly. Yeah. That's true. And then women are held to a higher standard in terms of just pressure, in terms of social media, for example. And we have to commend this woman for being like, F it.
Yeah.
Let me grow out this hair. Might even get a weave on it to piss you haters off. Speaking of hair, Tory Lanez.
Oh, wow.
That was a great segue. That was excellent.
Did you see the picture, Johno?
No, but I'll get it up now, actually, just to...
Let's see your reaction when you get up while I talk to 40 about this.
Hair transplant.
40, man. Would you ever get a hair transplant?
Nah.
Nah, man. You know what? personally, I don't want you to get a hair transplant. You know why? Let me explain why. It's going to decrease your performance. And let me expand on that. I mean performance in terms of beats. Sorry, that got a bit fruity there.
Performance in terms of beats, that still sounds bad.
Yeah, it does sound
In
good.
terms of instrumentals. Okay? From what I've seen in my life experience, it started off with Wayne Rooney when he got his hair transplant. His performances on the pitch exponentially went lower. That's number one. Number two, and this is a recent one, Sadio Mane. And this is very recent, very topical. I'm thinking, this guy's hairline doesn't start behind his ears anymore. What's going on here? Then I realized he's got a bit of a quiff. Sadio Mane has been getting a hair transplant. I'm convinced. His performances on the pitch have exponentially got worse. Well, in terms of Liverpool's performances as well, but that's not the point. Sadio Mane is not performing anymore. Now, we have Tory Lanez, gets a hair transplant, fantastic. Shoots Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. He whiling. He's
wilding or he's wilying? Because
I don't know.
Say somebody's wilying now because he kind of went crazy too.
I think the hair transplant messes with some neurons in the brain. It rewires some stuff where you start going mad. You don't start performing to the expectations you're supposed to. Apart from LeBron, because he's just like an alien. So he's an anomaly. We won't talk about that. But I've given you 3 strong examples of men with hair transplants that aren't performing to the best of their capabilities. Anyway, Johno, have you seen the picture?
Yeah, so is it just the one where he's got like a pretty standard hair transplant? Are we talking about the braids?
No, there's one.
He was playing basketball the other day, and so he's had a hair transplant. And it was looking kind of good. He went to the same place as Tiger went, and Tiger's hair looks like he hasn't had a hair transplant now. But then he was playing basketball, and he had no hat on or anything, and his hair was just out, and it was like tufts. Like somebody even did like a sketch where it showed him getting shot at, and like the bullets like just hit his hair and took chunks out of his hair, and that's how it looked.
Oh shit! Okay, that's the photo I'm looking at.
Yeah, so people are clowning him for that. I think, to be fair, they've got every right to. If the guy's paid like 30,000-40,000 to have his hair done or whatever they pay, and then it looks like that, just leave it be, shave it off, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing a hat today, not because I don't like being bald, but just because I haven't had a haircut because of quarantine, so I've got like an egg in a bun going on right now. But yeah, in terms of like getting it transplanted, I don't know. I think it's that same society thing again, isn't it? People are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's one photo that looked good though. Like there was one photo where he obviously didn't try to put too much on, and it was just a thin bit of hair, but he'd had it sort of shaped up at the front.
I think they're spraying that stuff on like Jamie Foxx does. You see Jamie Foxx, he has a different hairline every day.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I think the liner thing, it kind of looked good, but then he's went a step further now with those, because it's thicker now. Yeah, that didn't look good. But if it makes him feel better again, all power to him. I'm sure it doesn't now that he's being roasted online, but if it did initially make him feel better about himself, then yeah, go for it.
Some would say this is warranted, or Karma, who's also a female dog, because he shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. But it wasn't just that. He wasn't remorseful. He even made the album kind of about it. So like maybe the stress is getting to him, or maybe like he needs to go for another. Because I think you need to get it topped up. It's like a boob job. Like you need to get it, you need to get it like looked at every now and again. Hair thin, because your hair's naturally gonna go back to how it was.
I don't know how it works.
Bold
These
men are
people
gonna be bolding.
paying all this money. I mean, not so much these rappers and football players and stuff who can afford it, but just people who go to Turkey and spend like $9,000 on it or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, those ones are gonna be like the bootleg ones, man.
But what
they put weave in your skull.
Done.
And yeah, so our third topic on One Earth. This is a packed What on Earth today. Bobby Shmurda released. Okay, we'll ask our new guest today, Johno. How do you think? Let's just say hypothetically, just give a prediction. How do you think Bobby Shmurda, his career is gonna go from here?
He's got it all in front of him, isn't he? Because there's so much hype just around the whole prison thing, and the fact that he's became a meme, like he's been a meme for the last however many years he's been inside. He's got that momentum. He can just do a 6ix9ine and kind of pile up these huge viral tracks if he's got it in him and if that's what he wants to do. But I think there's so much hype around him that the world's kind of his oyster. Yeah. So you got to just go for it, start releasing stuff ASAP, big flashy videos, and they're gonna just do incredible numbers. At least for right now when it's like super relevant.
But that's I've a key thing you said there. Has he got it? If he's got it in him, because what was it? Hot N-word.
Yeah,
that was a sick track. But how long ago was that released?
It's not 2016 potentially.
I think it was 14, maybe.
Was it?
Has he been locked up for 7 years?
I'm not sure.
But it might even be like 2012 or something like that, was it? No, it wasn't 2012.
He is running on a lot. He's running on a lot of meme hype. Like,
some of them memes, the Thanos meme with the heart.
Mate.
Amazing.
But without that,
amazing.
It wouldn't still be talked about though. That's the thing. Like, is it the music anymore? Or is it that one song's became this massive kind of cultural meme?
Yeah.
And that's why there's so much hype, because I mean, he wasn't exactly the best rapper of all time, was he? So
that song was big though.
That song was huge, yeah, and it's endured because
it was 2014, by the way, which is scary.
I think his first track's gonna do what it's meant to do, and then I think it all depends what his music's like after that.
Yeah,
but hopefully he's got the right people around him, and he's not gonna get locked back up. Hopefully he's not like Shine. Remember when Shine came out of prison? I know he was in for a bit longer, but he came out and he just couldn't rap anymore.
He should have just been rapping in jail, man. I think we have a society where, I know we have a society where they love to jump on the hype train. Oh, we all love it. We all love the hype. But then as soon as the hype dies down even a little bit, you're on your own, bruv. Next segment. Real talk. Real talk. That's how we go into it. Real talk. That's my R&B, 90s R&B intro.
Stick to the rapping, bro.
I was trying to do a who must not be named segue into that. Real talk.
Oh, yeah.
Boris's 4-step plan to get us out of lockdown. That's how I wrote it down there. OUTTA. So, the Conservatives' Lord and Saviour, Boris Johnson, or BJ as I like to call it, because he sucks, has given us a 4-step plan to get us out of lockdown. Now, just like Megan Thee Stallion, I'm not a fan of Tories. However, how do you feel this lockdown is going to go? I mean, how do you feel these steps out of lockdown are going to go? Let me pull them up on my phone, because if you're listening to this, you can see my two guests in front of me. They don't look optimistic at all.
I don't think I ever look
straight
optimistic.
away when I said that. Both of your faces just dropped like Okay.
Nah, I think people need to chill out on it and understand that these dates are definitely subject to change, and you probably shouldn't be booking in your holidays and booking everything else in, because things will change. I imagine it's not going to be as smooth as it sounds. I don't think, especially festivals.
Think it's going to hit the dates?
Crazy.
Do you not think those dates are going to be?
I think they will be moved. And they say I'm going to lift it in July and there'll be no restrictions. It's not true, is it? Like, there will be some sort of life altering thing. You know what I mean? Festivals won't be the same. Shows won't be the same. There will be some way of, I don't know, verifying whether you've had an injection or something. But I just can't imagine things being, quote unquote normal. You're going to have to take into account that it exists. People will still be wearing masks. You might have to wear masks at shows potentially. I don't know, but I just don't think it's going to be normality as we knew it. You know what I mean? There's still going to be little things that stay now.
Masks at shows is going to be brutal. Some of the gigs when you're just there and you can hardly breathe anyway because you're packed tight and you're sweating your box off.
Yeah.
And then you've got to wear a mask as well. Don't
get us wrong. I think it's probably pointless. It probably doesn't do much, but I imagine there's going to be some way, because like they're saying, Leeds and Reading Festival, they're coming back, going to have everyone in. It won't happen like that. There's going to be like a restricted capacity or something. I just can't imagine 4 months from now or whatever, you go from not being able to see anyone to having 40,000 people in a field or whatever, like together. I just can't imagine it, but maybe I'm a pessimist.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about the kind of science behind it all, but do they even know whether these vaccines stop people from transmitting it?
There's rumors there's just rumors we're hearing, and I'm pretty sure the government knows these rumors are going around. But let me not get in my conspiracy theory bag. I just think the government knows what's going on, and it's kind of like fear mongering. And if everyone's in fear, then you can tell anyone to do what you want them to do. That's what I think. Yeah. Once you put people in fear, they'll just follow what you're doing because they think it's going to help them get out of the situation they're in, whatever it is. That's the most I'll say about that, because I don't want BJ and his goons to be knocking at my door.
This topic's difficult for me to talk about without turning it into like a tinfoil hat kind of podcast.
Yeah.
I just think there's so much distrust around everything, let's say. And it poses a lot of questions as to why do they want to have this extra level of control, as if they don't already control things enough. It does make you wonder what's on the horizon.
It's crazy. However, let's just clown Boris anyway. So Boris, 1 week he was saying he's shaking hands with everyone. This was last year, at the time this podcast was recorded, last year. And then the next week he says this thing is quite serious. Literally the next week, I saw a video. 1 week, like maybe March the 2nd, he was saying, I shook hands with everybody.
The next week he's pretending that he's got the virus.
The week after that, to get away from all the heat, he's got the virus and he made a full recovery.
Of course he did.
I just think I've never seen such a clown with so much power. And I think even this week he was saying he got into politics. I can't remember the reason. But it was like some
because his family was in politics.
Or something. No, it was stupider than that. It was actually stupider than that. I can't remember it, man.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah. I might be wrong, but was his dad not a politician?
Yeah, I think so. His dad's crazier than him.
Or something like
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the problem we've got in the country, isn't it? Yeah. I know this podcast's not really the kind of podcast where we're getting into these deep issues like this, but it's that's the issue. We've got the same families, the same people continuing to be running the country.
Yeah.
Or at least people who are influenced by the same people from before. If they're not family, then they're at least influenced by them or taught by them or part of the lineage. They really need to start allowing more everyday people to be in positions of power. But, you know, I don't think that's going to happen, is it?
Yeah, and stupid Boris, I think it was the other week or last week or whatever, he couldn't make one of the surgical gloves fit. And as, you know, the clown Boris would do, made a joke about OJ Simpson with surgical gloves. So...
Did he actually?
Yeah, this is real. This is the person that's running the country. The Queen's there just getting her money, not seeing what's going on, not caring. And this guy's she's left this clown to run the country.
Reality is stranger than fiction, I think.
Yeah, I am very strange.
Nah.
Was the joke funny though?
Or did he just bumble and go, OJ, like, what was the actual...
I think sometimes, yeah, especially in your position, you just have to read the room. In his case, read the country. Hundreds of thousands of people have that. Is it hundreds of thousands? 6 figures of people have died or got cases. One of those. It's a lot of people. And you're talking about a murderer? You're making a joke about a murderer with surgical gloves?
OJ definitely killed less people than Boris.
Yeah, true.
Just put it out there.
Yeah, that's true. So it's less of a monster. A final segment of the week. And just before we get into this segment, I'd just like to thank JR, Johno Ramsay, for being on this pod today. We'll have you back on, if you're available. Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah. 40 will probably have him back on, you know. but yes, where can they find you again, Johno?
At _Ride Music on everything, Ride Music on YouTube, and I'll probably pop up. So yeah, up and coming hip hop artists, things like that, rap, grime, drill, we cover all that sort of stuff. So find us on Instagram or www.ridemusicblog.com.
Fantastic. That's the last time you're gonna do that intro, because next time you come back, we're just gonna go straight into it. You know what I mean?
You have to know who I am next time.
You just have to know who he is next time. Track of the week. So let me start. This is where we pick our tracks of the week, tracks we've enjoyed this week. They might not necessarily have to come out this week. I changed that rule because of me. If you listen to previous podcasts, I'm still listening to albums from 2017. I'll catch up soon. I've just got a laptop full of albums I haven't listened to. Right now I'm listening to a Boyz II Men album from 2017. God knows why that's in my...
Well, they still
Boyz II Men brought an album out in 2017.
Exactly. It's covers though.
Oh.
Yeah, you know. So my track of the week is called Xana White by an artist called Elijah Blake on his Audiology album. If you saw Rick Ross's, was it Tiny Desk performance, he was the singer with the purple hair who was kind of messing up the performance in the background with his over singing. But I just like to let you know he's actually a pretty good singer, and that Xana White song is quite good. 2017. What's yours, 40?
I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily the best track that came out this week, but just because it's a bit of a mad one, Bizarre and Gigs, Badman.
Jono's face is like, what?
Yeah.
I was just baffled that it was a song with Bizarre and with Gigs, and they've done a video for it and everything. The beat's got a bit of a kind of like a Griselda feel to it. It's kind of like a slow, dingy hip hop beat. And Gigs is doing the classic slow flow on it, and Bizarre is bizarre. Just sat on the toilet in the video, smelling his shit and that off the toilet roll, just being crazy. That's my track of the week.
Remember when we emailed Bizarre to do an intro for the podcast? We asked how much it would be, and I think he quoted us like, I don't know, it was a few hundred anyway.
Mate, actually,
for like a 30-second intro, or less than a 30-second intro. We just did it for a bit of a laugh. We emailed him, and he got back to us.
I didn't know it would be so affordable, to be honest.
I think it was a couple of hundred. It might have been $1,000. I don't know. I think it was less than that, though.
Yeah,
I remember you saying something like $350.
Yeah.
He was advertising on Facebook for like
features.
Features, yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't look that bad in terms of price, but then you think, what's bizarre gonna do? I really
you got to think how much pull does he have as an artist?
They'd be kind of funny. Like, I mean,
and I think that's what he's relying on.
Yeah,
he's putting in the work. That you can't disagree with. He's done more than 99% of rappers in the world, and he's put in the work. But how much pull does he have these days? Is it worth your investment?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just want to talk about gigs quickly, where we used to have gigs. If you're talking the hardest, gigs better pop up in your thoughts as an artist. Jeez. And then in this track, I heard gigs rapping about what essentially I rap about. Sip tropical juice, eat Jaffa cakes.
He's just being real, isn't he?
He probably likes both of them. So shout out Gigs, man. Hit me up for a collab. Let's talk about Rabina and
voice
stuff.
Message.
Gigs, what?
He once sent me a voice message.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't that exciting though. So we're at a gig show at the O2 Academy.
Yeah.
And I uploaded some photos of him afterwards. And he wanted me to take one down because there was a Nike tick in the background on his screen, but he's like sponsored by someone else. So he was like asking to take it. I'll see if I can.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
I beg you take the one down with the Nike trainer. Come man's got some fucking Adidas thing going on with the show and that. So that Nike trainer, man's gonna take it off of that. But I don't really want it getting around online, the ones out. So I beg you just take that one down with the Nike trainer. But yeah, man, was sharing.
Mate, I wouldn't even finish listening to the message. I'm like, yeah, okay, sir, Gigs.
I did. I was like, yes, sir, thank you, sir. 3 bags full.
Yeah, yes, sir. Before the goons show up at your door. Oh, God. It won't be a walk in the park then. So what's your track of the week, Johno?
It's a new one from a guy called Digger D. He's just released, I think, his debut album, Made in the Pyrex. Blue Woo is what it's called. Great track. He's like one of the biggest artists in UK drill right now. The BBC did like a little documentary on him a few months ago, actually. And yeah, he's just came from like this really underground name, as obviously they all are, to like this big deal. You know what I mean? He was doing big numbers, like considering it. But it's like, yeah, the lyrics are really kind of classic drill, like grimy. Like a lot of stuff's like blanked out because it's probably, dry snitching.
A lot of chefing.
Chefing.
And we ain't talking about the kitchen.
Queffing and other words. But yeah, it's a good album, Made in the Pyrex, if you're into UK drill or drill in general.
Digger D. He's got a bit of hype behind him, yeah. The boy Diggs.
Diggs.
Double D. I don't know him personally. Again, topic of the pod. I don't want the goons showing up at my door. Anyway. So yeah, in your neighborhood podcast. Thank you guys for coming on today. We'll be back next week by God's grace. Amen. Oh, and promo. Yeah, go check out that lyric video for God Knows In It. It's on YouTube. I need more than 30 views. Yo, Reali-T, your boy from Hackney, aka Black Guy in Your Neighborhood, aka my mother's favorite rapper, and this is the In Your Neighborhood podcast, baby.